Hello. Welcome to another episode of Thus Built Dill. I'm not sure where he went. He went on a hiatus for a while, went on an adventure, went to see a very far off land, very mystical places, let me tell you. Let me tell you, it was amazing. It was beautiful. All right. He regathered his things. All right. Anyway, but Thus Built Dill will be back shortly. I'm just keeping it here. What do you mean? What? What do you let go of me? No, no, no. Hello, welcome. Okay, I'm back. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Anyway, so I went off on a hiatus, and if you're watching this, you probably don't really care. But I was gone for like a week or so, just taking a nice chill. Okay, finals are coming. Actually, finals are this week. Actually, when this video comes out, they're this week. Finals they're gonna be a big thing. We're gonna see what I can get done. But anyway, so we are jumping right back into the platformer games. And let's see where we left off. Let's see if I remember correctly. We just got done with jumping and the animations, and we made the coin. Yep. So we got the animations for running. Good. We can jump. It holds the animation all the way through the jump. That is good. And then we get this coin. It ups our score. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's very good. Now, the one thing that we need to do. Actually, there's two things we need to do. Actually, I can open up the document right now to show you guys what we got to do. Right now we already have the player can move side to side and jump, and there are coins on a level. What we need to do is make it so there's a start and a finish to every level. So that's our next goal. Also, if you don't have any art, uh, please go down the description, click the art link or whatever. You can download the files there. I just went ahead and made new art. Now, I'm warning, very, very big warning. I'm not an artist. Okay, I drew this myself. Okay, I'll take all the credit. All right, I will. It's not a masterpiece by any means, but I did make a flag, and with a little bit of animation, I don't think it's good. I think it's crap, actually. But we're gonna try it. Okay, we're gonna try it. Okay, hear me out. Okay, it might work, but make sure you do the compression to none, and make sure you set the filter to no point and multiple 32 pixels. And this is what it looks like. I know it looks like crap. Okay, I believe me. Look at it. Look at it. It looks bad. Okay, I know what it looks like. It looks awful. But no, no, trust me. Trust me. Okay, it'll be fine. Believe me, it will be fine. All right, when you see this thing in action, it is like glorious. It's like you looked at God for the first time in your life. That's what it is. Okay, now we have this flag in here. We're going to go ahead and make a start and a finish to the level. So how do you do that? Well, it's actually fairly simple. I don't believe we made a game manager yet, but I don't think we actually need to. Right now, I don't think we really need to. But as for the start and the finish, what we could do is we could just make two scripts here. Let's just make a script called start location. And then we're also going to make a script called end location. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, end location. There we go. Okay, so now we have these two scripts right here. Okay, now what we're going to do is instead of opening them up right away, we're just going to go ahead and into the hierarchy over here. Just right click. We're going to make a 2D object sprite. And we're just going to right click on this new sprite, and we're going to name this finish level or end level zone, whatever you want to call the ending of the level. Just reset the transform of it so it's in the middle of the screen, and then go ahead and add in the flag as the sprite for it. And as you can see, we got a little flag here. We're going to want to add in a box collider 2D. Not the debug handler. Nope, the box collider 2D. Here we go. Okay, and then put it as a trigger. Make sure it's marked as a trigger. That's very important. Don't line up the box with the flag perfectly. Like, don't shrink it so it fits the flag. That's not good. This is gonna be kind of like a zone that the player has to go into to finish the level, sort of. So all he has to do is walk into the zone. He'll finish the level. Now all we have to do is attach the end location script to this object. Okay, now let's go ahead and actually prefab this. So let's go into the prefabs here. And actually, I haven't shown prefabs. So basically, a prefab of an object is, well, it's kind of like saving an object. What it is if I wanted to say have this finished level object on another scene, and I could like edit all of the objects and all the other scenes at once too, I can do that. So all I have to do is, if let's say I have like 4 or 5 levels, and every level I have this object, this finished level object, there's prefab I made. What I can do is if I want to make a change to it, all I have to do is I click open prefab and I can make whatever changes I want to this like end location or this finished level object I want, and then it gets applied across all of them. So I don't have to go and individually edit every single level. Okay, it just makes all the changes for me. So it's very, very nice. You can also nest prefabs inside of prefabs, but we're not going to get into that. Anyway, so this is the finished level object. We're also going to make a start area object. Yeah, start area. Oh God, I butchered that spelling. Whoo! Okay, hang on. Start area. There we go. Just reset the transform. So this is gonna be kind of like our starting location, sort of. Actually, what we're gonna do is we're going to apply a little icon up here. So if you see this little blue box up here in the top right, click that. Click one of these little icons here. All it's gonna do is like make it so in here there's like a little diamond, so we can see it easier. So as you can see, there's little diamonds where the starting location is. We're going to put that like right there. Now, what we're going to do is on the start area, we're going to add the component or add the script of start location. Okay, and we're not going to really get into much of what that does quite yet. Actually, wait, never mind. No, we're going to do that right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this. Double click on the script. We're going to open up in Visual Studio. We're going to do a thing that might not actually be the best way to do this. I mean, I guess what we could do is, we'll go ahead and we'll just do it we'll do it the rough way, the really quick, easy way. Okay, so the start location. What we're gonna do is we want to make a reference to the player's transform, or the player's like position, kind of. So we gotta do a transform here, and we just want to do player pose. And on start, what we want to do is we want to do a GameObject.find. Now, normally GameObject.finds are not very good, but if you do them only in the beginning of the game and you only do a few of them, it's fine. Okay, it works. And plus, it can be really useful for things like this. So, anyway, player pose is going to be equal to, and we're going to do a GameObject.find, find GameObject with tag. Good. And then we're going to do that. And I want to take a look at what the player is tagged as in this game. What is the player tagged as? He's not currently tagged. Oh, no, no, it is. It is. Okay, so it'll find the box collider, but we want to get this parent. So, yes. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is do GameObject.find, and we're going to do the player tag like that, but it's going to give us the hitbox, okay? If you look closely here, the hitbox is tagged as a player. So what this GameObject.find is going to find, it's going to find that hitbox. So now, how do we get the player object in order instead? Like, how do we get the player instead of the hitbox? Well, it's actually pretty simple. We just have to go to the thing here. So right here, technically, this is just a game object. So all we have to do is do dot, and we can do transform, and then dot parent, and that's how we get the the parent transform, just like that. So now this is going to do GameObject.find, and it's going to find the player. If it doesn't find the player, this won't work. But what we could do is, you know what? I've never shown you guys debug.log, I don't think. So we're just going to do this. If player pose is equal to null, then we are going to do a debug.log, and we're going to do player not found. And okay, so basically what we're doing here is we're seeing if player position exists. Null just means all it really means is, does it exist? That's all it really means. Null is just void. It doesn't exist. So if you check to see if the player position exists, then well, if you check to see if the player doesn't exist, which is what we're doing, then what it's going to do is the code here is just going to send out an error message being like, oh, we couldn't find the player. So that's what that really does. But we will find the player. It'll be fine. As long as you have the player in the scene, it should find it. Okay. Now, what we want to do is actually get rid of this update thing here. So start location. All we have to do is, you know what? Let's make a new method. Let's do a new method here. Let's do a void set player position, and all we have to do is, what we want to do is do the player position dot position, right? Yeah, is equal to this dot transform dot position. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is in the start function, we're just gonna call this set player position function, and there we go. So If you're wondering why I separated the method, it's for future use if we ever need to, or if you ever want to, whoever is working on the game or following my tutorial. If you ever feel the need to have to set the player's position back to the start, all you have to do is just call this function from wherever you want to call it. You might need to add in the word public here, which I'm just going to leave it in there. I mean, it's not that big of a deal if you just have a public. But technically, if you just wanted to reset the position of the player at any point, then you could just call that thing and it would reset the player's position back to the starting position. In this case, this script is actually done. The start location is finished. So now if we go back into the game here, let's actually prefab the player as well, since we never got to that. Just go ahead and drag the player object down in here. Make sure it's the parent object. Make sure it's the parent object that's tagged player. If it's not, then it won't really prefab correctly, but it should work now. Okay, anyway, it should teleport us like that. See, look at that. All right, so now we started at the start position. So that is very good. See, our character's right here in the scene, but at the start, he gets teleported over here. Watch. Bam. See? Look at that. Okay, so that works fine. I'm gonna quickly save the whole project just to make sure nothing wonky happens. Okay. So now we're gonna open up the other script we made, which was the end location. Now this one's actually pretty easy to set up. All we have to do is do an on collision, or no, not on collision, on trigger enter 2D if the collision dot compare tag is the player. So if the player walks into the zone, player wins. Then in this case we're just gonna print a player wins like thing for now. We might end up making it so it switches to another level eventually, maybe. I don't know. It really depends how long this tutorial is going to go on. I mean, we're going to basically, this tutorial is just to kind of show you the basics of making a platformer. I don't really want to make a full-fledged platformer, but I think we're doing pretty well so far. So anyway, let's actually take a look at our stuff here. So let's go ahead and do this. Now we should be able to jump into the zone up here. So if we jump into the zone, it should tell us down here in the console that we won. Player wins. Look at that. We did it. Okay. So that's really all we really needed to do. The last thing on our list is, well, first I'm going to highlight this. Now we just need to make it so we can fall off the map and die in spikes or lava, or just falling off the map in general. I might just keep it with the, and you know what? No, it doesn't really matter. It's the same script either way. Okay. What we could do is, you know what? We have time. It's only been 12 minutes. We can squeeze this in. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up death. And death is going to be, we're going to do it the rudimentary way. When we hit a spike, we're just going to say that we died. Okay. If you fall off the map, you die. Okay. Anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually have a kill script maybe. We're going to call this one damage player script. Okay. Then let's go ahead and actually make a zone or like a thing in here. We're going to call this kill zone. Kill zone. Okay, and we're going to reset the transform. We're going to want to make a box collider 2D. Make sure it's a trigger. And we just go down here like this. And then let's just make sure we expand this way out here, because it's going to be the kill zone, or the place that the player touches to die. Basically, that's basically what this is. So anyway, we're going to drag the damage player script onto here, double click it, and then just delete all this. We're just going to do a simple on trigger enter thing. So on trigger enter 2D if the collision dot compare tag right here, and we just do player. So if it's the player, then we just want to print player is dead. And then we also want to destroy the collision dot game object. Oh, wait a minute. No, this is where actually this is kind of a unique thing. So in this collision thing, it's passing in a collider 2D, which, if you remember correctly, our collider 2D is actually on the hitbox of the player. So the hitbox is what's going to be getting fed into here, not the actual player parent object. So what we do know is that the player has a parent object. So if we delete the game object, just the regular game object like we normally would, like if we did this, it would delete the hitbox on our player. We don't want that. We want it to delete the whole player. So in order to do that, we have to do collision.gameObject dot actually we could just do collision.transform.parent dot game object. And then we delete that. Even though I think we could just leave it as transform.parent, but I'm gonna do it explicit and put game object just to be sure. So now, if the player touches this zone, he will die, and you will get deleted. We won't have a way to really reset the level yet, but I can quickly make that up. But anyway, this should be working for perfectly fine. Let's actually give it a shot. Make sure it works. Okay, so we can move around. We can win the game right here. Good, player wins, and then let's fall down, and we died. See? Just like that, we're dead. Okay, now, so we already did a little bit with the UI or the canvas stuff. We already have a UI manager. We can actually go ahead and oh, whoa, hold on, hold our horses. We got to put the animation in for the flag. I have a flag animation. We got to see this masterpiece. Oh no. Okay, finish level. Where is this? Okay, I'm just gonna go into the prefab editor here. Finish level. Okay, so this thing actually does have an animation, and I wanna create it right now. So let's just create the animation. Let's go put it in the animation folder. We're gonna do flag animation, and all we have to do is well, actually, we just gotta drag and drop the animation stuff into there. So all we have to do is go to the sprites. And we already have it open, so we just scroll down, shift click them all, drag them in, and then when we play it, it's gonna look like that. But we don't want that. We're gonna slow it down to like 5, maybe. Oh god, I forgot to hit enter. There we go. Look at that monstrosity. I mean, from a distance, it doesn't look that bad, right? Okay, like I'm sorry, I'm not an artist. All right, don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me. Okay. Um, maybe we can speed it up. You know what? That looks fine. Or we could do 10. Yeah, we'll do 10. All right, that looks fine. Okay, cool. Now that we have that in there, that should be already play. Okay, so now that should just play automatically the moment we start the game. The flag should be shaking or doing its thing. Yeah, fluttering. Look at that. See, it doesn't look that bad. It kind of looks okay, right? Right? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm actually gonna move this downward a little bit. Move it down to like right over here. We'll move it over here. I think that looks fine. And start. And we move over there. And the flag is in the ground. We pick up the coin. We got the 1 score, and we touch the flag, and we win. Okay, cool. So now, anyway, when we die, we want to be able to respawn. So actually, that is a lot easier than what you might think. First, we need to make something called a scene manager. I'm going to just drag the project window down here. Let's create a script called scene management. Don't name it scene manager. That's a big mistake. Don't name it scene manager because there's already a class called scene manager. You don't want to do that. Name it scene management instead, and that should be fine. Let's actually go ahead and make a game object in here. We're just going to call it manager. Not manager, not manager, manager. There we go. Reset the transform of it. And we're just going to drag on the, where is it? Where'd I put it? Scene manager. Here it is. Okay. What we want to do is go up here into using Unity engine dot scene management. Good. And then we delete all of this. And now what we want to do is we want to create a singleton. And I think we already went through and made a singleton before. Yep, with the UI manager. So I don't really need to explain that too much. But just do the same thing you did before. Do a public static and then scene management. In our case, instance. And then we do it in awake. And then if instance is equal to null, instance is equal to this, else destroy. Good. Perfect. Okay. So, now what we're gonna do is do a public void load level, and then we're gonna feed it in a string called level. And what this is gonna do is we can make it so a button can kind of sort of tell our scene manager to load a certain scene, and we can just tell the button exactly what the scene is we want it. So actually, this is pretty easy. All we have to do is just do scene manager dot then load scene level. All we gotta do, we can feed it in the string, and it knows exactly what to do. We can also go ahead and do a public void restart level where we don't need to pass in anything. All we need to do is do a scene manager dot load scene, and then we just got to do another scene manager call here, dot, and then we can just get to the active scene, which is going to give us the current scene that we're in, and then do dot, and then do name. So what's going to happen is it's sort of not, it's kind of in a way recursive, but not really. When you call this restart level function, it's going to be like, all right, scene manager, load the scene, and then it's going to be also like scene manager, hey, what's the name of this current scene? Yeah, reload that scene. So that's what that's going to do. Anyway, this is all we really need. Scene managers are pretty simple to set up. Anyway, so now that we got that out of the way, you're probably wondering how the heck do you hook that up? Well, it's kind of simple. In Art on Canvas object, go ahead, click on it, right click, and then go to UI, and we're gonna make a text mesh pro button, and we're gonna call this one restart. And with this restart button, go over here on the right side, click this. You see this little on click event thing? Click this plus here. Basically, what this does is it's like, okay, when you do a click, do whatever it says inside this box. So in our case, we want to drag in our manager object here, then click this no function thing, go to scene management, and we're going to call our function restart level. So now, if you're wondering how the heck did that work? Well, basically what it is we drag in our manager object, which our manager object has one script on it, which is scene management. So what this thing does is it looks at the scene management script we have and it calls the function that we tell it to call. It's very useful, very easy to set up. Anyway, so we also want to make sure that our restart thing doesn't actually show up when we play the game, because currently our restart button is going to be there just right in the middle of the screen like this. So now if we walk away, we click restart, it respawns everything. Walk away, restart, respawns everything. See what I mean? You can keep spamming it too if you want, but that's what restart's gonna do. But we don't want it to be in the middle of the screen, so I'm actually gonna move it. Well, let's move it downward like this, sure, and then let's make it bigger. Let's make it like 4 times bigger, 4 times bigger, not 3 times, 4 times. There we go. And then let's go ahead and change the text to restart. Good. I think that's all we really need to do. Restart button is good. Well, it's not all we really need to do, but that's set up. That's how it's going to look in the game right there when we die. But all we need to do is go into the UI manager here, and we just want to make a little specialized or serialized field in for a game object, and we just want to call this one the restart button. There we go. Now, on awake, or actually on start, because you're dealing with another object. So on awake, if you're not aware, on awake means you generally want to do stuff that's local object stuff. So if you like setting values in the script, we can do it on awake. But if it has to do with objects across like areas, like if it has to do with a separate object, do it in start. It's safer. Anyway, so on start, we want to set the restart button dot set active to false. We want to make sure it's turned off on start. Now, if we die, we want to call the public void show restart. Oh, show restart. And then what we can do is we can just do the restart button dot set active true. Now what's going to happen is when we click the restart button, it's going to instantly rerun the script again because it's reloading the scene, and then it's going to set the button to false, so we don't have to worry about turning it off or anything. Anyway, this should work perfectly fine. When we die, we want to make sure we call the set restart thing. So what we got to do here is right where we die, right in here. Just all we have to do is call the UI manager dot, and then we want to do instance dot, and then we got to do show restart right here. That's all we have to do, and then we'll have the restart thing show up. That should be pretty good. Let's take a gander quick. And I forgot to set it in the UI manager. Whoopsie daisies. Is the UI manager on the canvas? It is. Restart button right here. Good. Save the game. The restart button should get turned off, which it does. Good. We can walk around. We can jump. Collect the coin. Finish the level. And then if we jump off the edge, look at that. We can restart the level. We click restart. And we're back at the start. Look at that. Perfect. Okay. Anyway, I think even though we didn't quite get to falling off the map or in the spikes, well, we did get the falling off the map, but not in the spikes or lava. It's the same it's actually the exact same script. Nonetheless, it's the same script actually. Don't really need to do anything there. But anyway, we have a fully functioning game now. You can win the game, you can lose the game. That's what makes it a game, actually. So As you can see, we can move, jump. Okay, congratulations. You guys made your first game if you were following this tutorial. We got our score. And yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Leave a like and subscribe to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.